Hello, my dear students. Myself, Mr. Mangesh Bale. I am working as an assistant professor at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Chawar. So, today we are going to start unit number 4, that is methods of separation. In this unit number 4, you will have 3 chapters. First chapter is solvent extraction. Second chapter is high performance liquid chromatography, and third one high performance thin layer chromatography. These are 3 chapters in this unit number 4. So in today's lecture we are going to start a second chapter, high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, so in this HPLC, first of all we will see the principle of the HPLC. HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography or high pressure liquid chromatography. In short, we can say HPLC is an improvement of classical column liquid chromatography. All of you know classical column, that means general column chromatography. In that classical method, or you can say classical column chromatography, the liquid mobile phase flows slowly by means of gravity through relatively large diameter column packed with stationary liquid phase which is immobilized on the surface of a solid like alumina, silica gel, etc. of different mass or particle size. All of you know in liquid chromatography column, the stationary phase is what? A liquid that will be coated on inner support material, and that inner support material will be coated on inner side of the column. Then the liquid chromatography will be run. That will be in due to the gravitational force. The classical method is time consuming and tedious one, and generally low column efficiency and long separation time. That means in classical method, actually this separation time will be very high and column efficiency will be very low, and it is very time consuming and tedious one. So for that, in HPLC this efficiency of separation is improved by using high pressure pump that is capable of producing pulse free inlet pressure of 1000 to 6000 psi. Okay, that means what is difference between classical method and this HPLC? In this HPLC technique, here the high pressure pump will be employed into the instrument that creates a pulse free pressure up to 1000 to 6000 psi. That means the separation efficiency of the column will be increases. That means it require very less time to separate a sample component. Second, a column which is narrow bore metal stainless steel, that means the column will be made by stainless steel material, but in classical method the column will be made by using the glass. So tube containing small spherical and uniform size particles up to 5 to 50 μm micrometer of stationary phase, because a greater surface area of stationary phase is exposed to sample components in HPTLC column than the traditional LSC, LLC and ion exchange columns. LSC means liquid solid chromatography and LLC means liquid liquid chromatography. The efficiency of the HPLC column is relatively very high. HPLC is thus a high resolution and high speed liquid chromatography. Why high speed? Because here we are going to use high pressure pump. That's why it increases the separation speed, and it will require very less time to separate sample component from the column. The important condition is that a suitable immiscible solvent pair must be available. That means when we do the separation by using this HPLC instrument, at that time what will be requirement? The immiscible solvent pair must be available. Generally, more polar of the two is made the stationary phase and other as mobile phase. That means more polar in that two solvents, one will be the more polar one, that will be useful for the preparation of the stationary phase also. Okay, so the sample is introduced into column stationary phase by means of pressurized flow of liquid mobile phase. The components in the sample are fractioned during their passage through the column. The detector system senses these components as they are eluted from column and generates a signal proportional to amount of solute passing through the system. That means whatever signal we are getting through the instrument, that will be proportional to the what amount of solute passing through the system. Time at which each peak appears is characteristics of the compounds. That means qualitative analysis, and the area under the each peak is proportional to its concentration. That is quantitative analysis. All of you know qualitative and quantitative analysis. This terminology you have already learned in previous classes, right? So this is about the principle of the HPLC, that is high performance liquid chromatography. Now we are going to discuss the instrumentation of the HPLC. So this is the instrumentation of the HPLC. See, in this flow diagram of HPLC instrumentation, first component is the solvent reservoir. This is the first component, solvent reservoir. These are two different vessels or can say reservoirs. This is for solvent 1 and this for solvent second. Then each one have different degasser. That means there will be two degasser also employed below the solvent reservoir. Then both the solvents will get mixed into this mixing vessel. Then that entire solvent with same composition will be going through this high pressure pump. Then next component is pre-column. Here will be the flow splitter. Here is the sample injection port. This is analytical column. In between sample injection port and analytical column there will be pressure gauge will be there. Then both the elution part will be going through this detector, and through the detector entire sample will get wasted. Okay, so these are the actually components. Now we will see first component, that is solvent reservoir and degassing system, this one. Okay, now we will see actual functions of this solvent reservoir and degasser system. So in this case, the solvent reservoir made up of glass or stainless steel material which is having capacity up to 1 to 2 liter of a solvent. That means in this solvent reservoir we can keep 1 to 2 liter of the solvent. The solvent reservoirs are connected with the degasser to remove trapped or dissolved gases like oxygen and nitrogen. See, that means the function of the degauser is what? It will trap dissolved gases like what? Oxygen and nitrogen. Then degauser consists of a vacuum pump. See, this is the vacuum pump. This is the vacuum pump, right? That will be connected with this degauser system. So that vacuum pump for what? Heating and stirring solvent. That vacuum pump will be useful for what? Heating and stirring of the solvent. Then if a single solvent, that means single solvent, suppose we have taken carbon tetrachloride in this solvent 1 reservoir and this solvent 2 reservoir, we have taken a single solvent of constant composition is used for the separation is called as isocratic elution. What is isocratic elution? I repeat the definition. If a single solvent of constant composition is used for the separation is called as isocratic elution. Okay, hope you understood. Then if a two solvents of a same composition or different composition is used for the separation is called as gradient elution. What is gradient elution? That means in this solvent first reservoir and solvent 2 reservoir we have taken two solvents, different solvents. I will repeat again the definition of gradient elution. If a two solvents of same composition or different composition is used for the separation is called as gradient elution. We have completed these two components, that is solvent reservoir and degassing system. Now next will be the mixing vessel. In this mixing vessel both the solvents that will be the same or different will get mixed with same composition, and that entire mobile phase will be going through this high pressure pump. Okay, high pressure pump. Actually there are three type of pumps will be used in this HPLC instrument. In that case, first one is screw driven syringe type of pump, second reciprocating pump, and third one is the pneumatic pump. Actually these are three types of pumps. Out of these three, one can be employed into this HPLC instrument. Actually the requirement for HPLC pump is there are total 5 requirements that will be fulfilled to each pump. What are that? See, first one is the generation of pressure up to 6000 psi. That means whatever pump will be employed into this instrument, that should create 6000 psi pressure. Then second, pulse free output, that means whatever output give by the pump that should be pulse free. Now third one, flow rates from 0.1 to 1 ml per minute, that means per minute it should flow the mobile phase 0.1 to 10 ml. Fourth one, flow reproducibility of 0.5%, and fifth one, resistance to corrosion by a variety of solvents. That means this pump should not corrode with any kind of solvent. These are the actually requirement while employing the pump into this HPLC instrument. Now next component is the pre-column. See, this pre-column actually it is also known as guard column. What is this? Actually known as what? Guard column. The function of the pre-column are, first function, suppose it is used to saturate the mobile phase with the stationary phase. Second, it is avoid loss of the stationary phase from the column. Third one, the pre-column removes impurities from mobile phase and prevent contamination of analytical column. That means pre-column plays very important role into this instrumentation of HPLC. Why? Because of it removes impurities, whatever impurity present into the mobile phase, that means in entire solvent, that will be removed into this pre column, right? And it will be help for the, or you can say it will be help to avoid contamination in analytical column, or you can say our main column. The pre-column should have the same composition as that of the analytical column. That means in pre-column and analytical column both having same composition of the stationary phase. The particle size in the pre-column is larger as compared to the analytical column. This is the difference between pre-column and analytical column. If the pre-column gets saturated, it has to be discarded and replaced with a new column. If it will get saturated, at that time we have to replace it. Then next will the flow splitter. That means whatever mobile phase which is coming through this pre-column, if extra mobile phase is there, that will be passing through this direction. Then the mobile phase going through this sample injection port. Here in this sample injection port, we can inject the sample with the help of sampling loop. Then in between this sample injection port and analytical column, there will be pressure gauge is there. That pressure gauge will be useful for what? To maintain the pressure of the mobile phase. Then the mobile phase along with sample, that will be going through this analytical column, and separation will be takes place of this sample component, and that will be going into this detector will be detect that entire sample component and showing the peak, or you can say the reading into the instrument. So this is the instrumentation of the HPLC. This will be the schematic diagram of the HPLC instrumentation. So I hope all of you understood the instrumentation of HPLC. Thank you.